Hello, welcome back to PlayStation Access. My name is Dave, and I am rubbing my hands with glee because Ash and I are here to talk about our impressions of the PS VR2 hardware, which is a very boring title for something that is really, really exciting and cool. And I can't wait to get into it, basically. Ash,
so get into it, Dave.
I'm trying. We've been playing different games. Mm-hmm. And we're going to be comparing our experiences, but again, not really about the game so much as what we've been doing with the hardware, how it has changed, what's new, what we love about it. I've been playing Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge Enhanced Edition because I am a typecast man.
Yes.
And you've been playing Horizon Call of the Mountain.
I have, and it's been incredible. You can catch a little video of me and Rosie talking about it as well. But right now we're talking about the hardware, aren't we? The headset, the goodies that it offers. And oh my God, does it offer goodies?
Yeah, it really, really does. I think we've got to start with something that is, on the face of it, quite boring, but I think really, really...
I get it, on the face of it.
Very good. But I think actually really, really important, and that is just how incredibly easy it is to set up.
Yes.
Like, it's silly. Compared to like almost anything else, you just take a cable, you plug it in, and you are playing VR.
That's it. And then it just tells you how to put it on. If you know how to put it on, that's fine. If you've done it the first time, then you know. Yeah. But when it just gives you the little setup guide of like, put it on your head like this, put the scope in like this, and then it all sits on your face perfectly. And then you do the eye tracking setup as well, which is like a little mini game. It's so good.
Yeah, I think I really love that it just takes you through all the things. It's a great way of introducing the tech that is in the headset that you're going to be using. As Ash said, the eye tracking is like a big one, I think. And I haven't experienced that in a game yet, but just experiencing it in the setup process, it's mad. Yeah. Like, you go through this little thing where you follow a dot. It's like being at the opticians, and I like being at the opticians because it's like a little mini game. And you follow this dot with your eyes for about 20 seconds, and then it's like, I've tracked your eyes now. It can tell when you're blinking, and you see this little layout where you can look at these dots and they kind of ping when you look at them, which is so strange because it's so accurate and immediate.
Yeah. And
there's these little cartoon eyes representing your eyes, and they blink when you blink, which is also so strange. There's also this is a great new addition, there's an adjusting dial
that is so good
to move the lenses.
It's amazing.
So they fit your eyes.
I've got to hop in because me and Rosie, when we were swapping between to play Horizon Call of the Mountain, we obviously have different face shapes, which like you don't really think about when you're just using like a VR headset. And I put hers on after we'd finished, like she'd done her bit, and I put it on and was like, it's a bit uncomfortable, like, I'm not sure how this really works. And then did all like my adjusting the scope and the back, and then realised that I could do this little wheel, and it was like a world of difference. Like, suddenly I could like move it across, it could sit on my nose here, I could like make things even sharper because of the way that it interacts with your eyes. It is so good and so personalised to each person that uses it. Like, it's a whole different setup as soon as you put it on someone else, but so easy to do as well. Like, you can share it, and it's like a minute of just doing your own adjustments, and then you're ready to go, and your one cable's in, and it's all good.
You also like set up your space. One of the big, I think this is like a huge quality of life thing, is that with the press of a button now, or at certain points like in games or whatever, you see through the headset to your surroundings.
It's like science fiction.
It's so cool. You see through, you press this button and the game pauses, and you see through, and you because the headset has these cameras built into the front for tracking and all that kind of thing, they can also just be used to just show your eyes what you're seeing. And it's weird because it's exactly what you would see. Do you know what I mean? It's not like a weird different perspective on it. It's not kind of, it doesn't feel like you're further away or closer or zoomed in or whatever. It just feels completely accurate. So that is just wonderful. Like, because no longer do you have to kind of like have a little peek, like, where did I put the remote? Where's my controller? Like, nothing like that. You press this button. You hear it if you're just suddenly feeling, am I alone in this room?
Yeah.
Which I did actually do yesterday. I was like, is someone watching me? And I pressed the button. No one was watching me.
And I ran away.
But it's like a really, really powerful thing that means that you're just, once you've put the headset on, it is on. It doesn't need to come off again until you want to take it off, you know? Like, and I think that's a huge thing.
For sure.
Also, and this is just a lovely little detail, it has little AR readouts, little HUD elements that go around the sense controllers when they're in your world. So like, I was going through the setup process, and it's showing you this kind of see-through vision, and they were these two little arrows that were saying, oh, you know, your sense controllers are over there. And I looked around and it's like completely mapped. This HUD is completely mapped to where they are in the real world, which is a very, very cool thing. You know, some of this stuff I haven't seen in game yet. There's like the eye tracking I haven't experienced yet.
I have, so I can tell you about that briefly, which was in Horizon Call of the Mountain. And this is the bit we all talk about when we talk about it, 'cause it's the first thing that you see is when you're selecting from the menus, you use your eyes to do it. So you're moving across. We were using it like to do, this is a little behind the scene things, but you do a little gameplay sync when you record some gameplay and you record a presenter, you want to make sure that all the sound matches up. So we were going left, right, left, right, left, 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 right with our eyes. It was so fun and it was so snappy and going across to it. And then you select what you want, you press your cross button and you go into it. But you can look around the whole, I keep doing it with my eyes, you can look around the whole screen and it knows exactly where you're going, what you're after. And you can use it to like highlight things as well, and kind of when you're walking you can do a bit more looking around and this sort of thing, and it'll take you on that path as well. So it's really good.
I must admit, Ash, it does make me worried, because I can think of many nefarious ways that horror developers might use it, and also like lots of the things like the see-through vision. With it, now that I didn't realize that it can do like this AR thing with things in the actual world, like how might that be used for in games as well?
Sure.
It feels like VR2 is packed with these real additions and innovations that I think we're only just starting to scratch the surface of how they will be used.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
everything it does is so solid. Moving on from setting it up
to playing,
I think we've got to talk about the Sense controllers.
First of all, for the Sense controllers, I just think they're a really nifty design. Like, I know we're going to talk about how they feel and how playing with them is, but that is like you putting your hand in like the circle that goes around it. Like, genuinely, the whole PSVR2, it just feels slick future tech. Like, it fully feels like a sci-fi fantasy.
I was going to say the same thing. Like, you can't be too worried about how you look when you're wearing any kind of VR kit. However, I think VR2 looks wonderful. Like, it looks futuristic and cool and sleek, and it is ergonomic. That's the thing about the Sense controllers as well. Like, they look cool, but they're so ergonomic. Like, they just fit in your hand so comfortably. They're light. They feel like an extension of you, which is just massively important when you're trying to convince your senses that you're in a world. Like, they don't feel like you've got something unnatural in your hands. It feels just like an extension of your hands, and that means that then playing with them in the world is so intuitive, because you just instantly know what to do, and it knows what you're trying to do. It's like it works in perfect harmony. The thing for me is like the fidelity is just so high.
Crisp, crystal clear images. Like, they look amazing. I know Horizon Call of the Mountain has been the one that I've been playing, and that in particular just looks incredible. Like, seeing water, seeing mountains, seeing long distances, seeing machines up close. All of it is so uniquely just visible. You know what I mean? Like, there's no blur or anything to it, and like having your hands in front of you where you can examine them and see all the bits on the back, as in VR when you can see all your bits that you're using. It's just so cool. Like,
and on top of the fidelity of the visuals, I think there's the fidelity of just the experience. Like, the tracking is solid. Like, both of your head, of where you're looking, but also like of these Sense controllers. It feels insane to me. It's so accurate again that it just feels like an extension of your actual hands in the world. I was playing Tales from the Galaxy's Edge, and the first time you get like a big blaster rifle, and I just was just holding it. I really do. Oh, it's so cool. I really love that game, and firing them is amazing, which I'll come on to. But just holding them, I was just struck by like the way I was moving it. My hands in the world were completely matched by my hands in the game. Like, you know, not just where they were, but like what they were doing, the shape of them, the shape of the wrists, like very like tiny reorienting of my hands, like in all the ways they can move, is completely matched in the game, and it's so impressive that it actually took me aback. It feels so natural that you almost won't notice it, which made me notice it, because it's something new for games. You know, it's like I'm not used to that level of fidelity, and you know, if we're playing just a non-VR game, you don't have that kind of connection. And then I think in PSVR, it's been great with the Move Motion controllers, but this level of fidelity with the Sense controllers is just insane.
Well, yeah, it goes right down to the fingers in Call of the Mountain as well. So you can literally, you'll be holding your Sense controllers and it'll know if you've got your thumbs off, so you can do a thumbs up. It'll know if you've got your index fingers off, so you can have like a little loser, and then it'll know if you're literally having your two fingers off, so you can do like peace signs as well. Like, and playing with those and being able to see them react with the environment as well. So have like open hand, closed fist, do all the different fingers. Like it's just so interesting to be able to manipulate a hand like that and to have it feel like what you're doing as well, because you do naturally like lift a finger off, or you know, you will like move your hands differently as you're playing because you feel so immersed, and then to see it reflected in the gameplay as well. I just wasn't expecting it. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be a feature that your fingers can literally be transposed into a game. Yeah,
I love the haptic feedback of the DualSense. One of my favourite things about getting a new PS5 game is like, how's the DualSense going to be used? What will it be like to use the triggers? And with PSVR2, I just hadn't thought about it that much, and I didn't know if it would work in a way because I'm used to it with a control pad, but not. I had never held the Sense controllers before, and I wasn't sure how it was going to work, and it is amazing.
Yeah, it's subtle in the best way.
Yeah.
Like it's not overpowering. You're not thinking, whoa, what's going on here? Like, you move your hands and you'll feel like a rumble. You talking about the Star Wars stuff was amazing. Like hearing how like when you use your different blasters and can feel different things coming along.
Yeah, I was so blown away because it gives you this extra sense, you know, that and you're right, it is really subtle. That's one of the amazing things about it, I think, is that it just gives you enough, and your brain does the rest. You know, it just tells you, like, just picking something up has a little tactile feel to it now.
I love that little
just a little something, and your brain just goes, gets that there's some heft there or something. Something that before you just didn't have, because before you were pressing a button and you would see that you were holding something, and I was blown away by that. But this just sells, it's a whole other sense that you're getting that you don't usually have in VR or haven't had before, you know, like the sense of touch. One of the most amazing selling points about PSVR2 is that it makes everything intuitive, and you start just being in games and doing things without having to be told, without, you know, instructions or tutorials, because you understand, you're in a world and you understand the rules of a world. And I think that the haptics on the Sense controllers, one of the great examples of that is like in Tales from the Galaxy's Edge, firing the weapon, and I could like feel it overheating, and I didn't need a readout, or I didn't need a reload button or anything. Like, the weapon was telling me, like, without looking at it, I could just feel what was going on. And there's a really great mechanic where you get to like release like this valve, and it lets off steam.
You're literally doing the movements.
You're doing that. That's what you're doing. It's so cool. And to release this valve, let the heat out, and then you can fire again. I love it so much. But I think I was completely blown away by how much that adds. Not to go on about Tales from the Galaxy's Edge, but you also have like a little space screwdriver, basically, which is like, it has three different uses. It can be a screwdriver, it can be like a sort of power generator, and it can be a little blowtorch. And using that, again, just the subtle differences in the vibration, it just sold me on what I was doing. You know, sometimes you can almost have like an out-of-body experience of like, I must look pretty stupid doing this. Yeah. I was not. I was in Star Wars. I was like welding or unwelding. I was burning through this weld. It's weird how it just makes quite sort of everyday things fun and enjoyable. I mean, you were talking about eating an apple. You've mentioned it several times.
I loved eating an apple. It was so good because it makes me go as I'm doing it. Like, I'm fully like chomp, chomp, chomp. Yeah. But there's so many fun things you can do with it. I want to talk about when we've been on haptic feedbacks. Yeah. The ones on your head as well.
Yeah, they are true.
So cool. Like, to have some feeling in your head sounds weird. Like, I originally heard that and was like, I'm not sure how that's going to translate. Who's going to be rumbling my head? Yeah. And then in Horizon, it's been like glint hawks flying overhead. You can feel like the rumble as they go past. Or, you know, like having action games and stuff where things are flying past you. It makes so much sense as soon as you're in there. You're like, oh my god, I would feel that on my head. Like, my head can feel that. Like, and that it has this extra layer of immersion, and that it's something so unusual and new but feels so natural again. Like, it's just incredible. Genuinely, I've had so much fun going into PSVR2 as someone, again, who hadn't had a massive VR experience before this, but just had drips and drabs. this is totally like sold me on the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh my god, I'm in the game.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah.
I think like you're right, and like I only had one experience of like haptic feedback through the headset, and I think that's great. Like developers, it seems like they really understand like when to drop in these things. It's not like, let's use eye tracking all the time, you know, let's be having loads of feedback and loads of haptic feedback, and it's like everything is just from my experience, it's like so subtle and just the right amount and little touches. You know, it's not like kids in a candy shop, let's use everything. It's just like, we've got this box of tricks that we can pull out for special effect here, here and here, and every time it feels special and it feels like it's really memorable. It's made the whole experience really, really memorable.
For sure.
I just can't wait to go back and play more. It's really comfortable. It's really light. The controllers especially are so light.
I'm just emphasising it's surprisingly light in a really good way. Like it feels super like, oh, okay, because it looks super premium. Like it's got all the same sort of features as PS5 with that lovely white and black design. But you can just pick it up, have it on your head. It doesn't feel weighty. Sense controllers are proper like zippy. Really good.
I obviously am a glasses wearer, and people always ask about it. I mean, I didn't even have to think about it. There's nothing to worry about, and there's no. It fits so well. I think that they've improved the like comfort of it. The kind of the back strap pad is like really. I was just like, I had to make a video on like how to set up PSVR2, and like the first thing I noticed out of the box was I was like, oh, have a feel of that. It's really, really comfy. But like in particular, the scope, just the kind of material that blacks out, you know, sort of seals you in. It's like really wonderful and comfy. And then having that dial that can adjust the specific position of the lenses for your own face. It's just really, really fantastic.
Yeah, it opens up really big as well. So if you've got a really big head, you can still play PSVR2. Genuinely, hold that button, it's going back. Like, you can put a melon in it.
100%.
Watermelon.
Not recommended.
No, but if you have a watermelon-sized head.
If you've got a PSVR2, put it on your own head, not a watermelon. I think that's important.
It is important. But if you have a watermelon-sized head, don't fear, because you can fit it on.
I actually do have a massive head.
Yeah.
I always struggle with hats. And if you've seen The Winner Plays On, I really struggled with the crown. But it fits me perfectly. It's really, really comfortable. And I think you're going to be wearing it as long as you like. You know, it's not a consideration. So hopefully that has given you an impression of our impressions of the hardware. It's absolutely incredible.
It's good.
I've been blown away. Like I was excited for it, but I've been completely blown away by it. I honestly can't wait to get back and play more. I want to try Horizon. I want to try GT7 desperately.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be wonderful. And there are so many other experiences out there that I do want to try, and so many I don't want to try.
Yeah, switch
so
back,
many
baby.
I don't want to try. But the hardware is absolutely incredible. It's like I said, barriers have been removed, and I think the possibilities now. It just feels like developers are going to be able to go wild and create things we've never seen before, never thought of before, and really just sell you on being in these places, seeing these things, having these experiences.
Yeah.
It's extremely exciting, and I can't wait.
Horizon is the one. Horizon Call of the Mountain, if you want an example of all the fun things PSVR can do and to be blown away and to be amazed, that's the one to start with. Like, absolutely, big recommend as well. This is the hardware review video, but it's Horizon, trust me.
Yeah. So thank you so much for watching. Please let us know in the comments below if you're excited about PSVR2. If you have any questions about PSVR2, let us know. We'll try and answer them either in another comment or in another video or in the podcast. And mostly give us a like if you've enjoyed this video, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything from the world of PlayStation. Bye.
PlayStation